for all I know.
He's a wild card.
He is. Legit wild card. Like, this could go terrible.
Yeah, whatever bow you guys pick is a very important bow, man. Do you know why?
What's that?
Because it's the bow we're going to go for our three-peat at the ranch with.
Oh, yeah? Think you're getting a three-peat, do you?
Well,
You sure? I mean,
odds.
Rattlesnake hadn't bit you last year. Are you sure you're going to be okay?
Odds are in our favor, man.
Well, I mean, two in a row does give you a good opportunity, but I mean, you've been snake bit. I mean,
No, I'm good.
Are you good?
Yes.
You sure?
Yeah.
Are you back to biting it?
Depends on the day, man.
No, people that punch the trigger are so fun because they'll have like a week of shooting where it's just like, God damn, you're like destroying the world, and the next week they just want to climb in bed and cry. That's a good half-hour project is all. Once we get them in. I haven't had a blue raz in a while.
Bubbly. We got MFJJ back in Spokane Valley, Washington. What does MFJJ stand for?
Depends on how old you are.
What's our podcast rated? What rating did we make if a person was going to the theaters?
Is this on a 10-point scale, a 5-point scale?
No, PG 13.
Oh, PG. I would say
R-rated.
Well, in today's world, I think you could probably sneak a PG-13 in there because you can put a little bit of profanity in a PG-13, right? So I'd say we're PG-13.
I think it's PG-13.
We're not consuming adult content. We're not drinking. We're not doing drugs. We're swearing every once in a while.
Yeah, the occasional.
I've rolled it back quite a lot as I've gotten older. Largely from people reminding me every time a kid walks up to me and wants to take their picture with me or something like that, and then go, "You still want to swear?"
You feel a little guilt.
I feel so guilt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I feel so much guilt. I might be Catholic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'd say PG-13 is probably accurate.
My dad used to hate people swearing around us when we were young, like little kids.
Yeah.
And I don't know what my opinion is on it now.
I'll probably feed her.
Yeah, we'll get her.
Okay.
I don't know what my opinion is on it now. Have we ever lost a fire, by the way?
I guess no, but I mean, we've spent a lot of time trying to fix a couple once in a while. It's like we're 20 minutes in, we're still taking with the fire because it's not going.
Yeah, I don't know what the right thing is with kids and swears because they're going to hear them. You don't want them to hear them from you necessarily.
Yeah, I think the premise of that concept is if you don't do it, then they're less likely to do it. If somebody else does it, they're probably less likely to do it if they see their parent not doing something.
Yeah.
Like the do as I say, not as I do thing does not work. It really doesn't. If you do it, they're going to do it.
Well, and if you do it that way, you end up setting yourself up for distrust because they're like, well, why are you doing it and I'm not?
Exactly.
Any kid who's a free thinker is going to be like, why are you doing it, but I can't?
Yeah, and I would really hope that you would want your kid to be a free thinker. So I guess if that's something you're really worried about, you probably shouldn't swear.
You want your kid to be a free thinker.
Yeah, you want your kid to be a free thinker. So, if you're that worried about it, don't swear. I refuse to believe that I'm going to be judged on a day of judgment because I said fuck. Like, I don't buy it. I'm sorry. Like, it's a word. It's not really hurting anybody just because it's sensitive to your nature doesn't make it sensitive to mine. But I have rolled it back because kids listen and that kind of thing, But my natural... It's part of my natural vocab because I'm ignorant. I'm going to be all honest. Like, I'm not cultured. I'm not refined. I'm just me. And I'm more likely to say stuff like that.
Well, you are who you are.
Such a descriptive word.
I've heard
it's an input for almost anything.
I've heard
you are going to lose that.
I've heard people say before that smarter people swear more often, but that could just be trying to be confirmation bias too.
It makes me feel better. I have not heard that. I feel totally better about that now all of a sudden.
Your favorite podcaster, who's that?
Yeah. Oh, Joseph.
Yeah, he's got a good take on it. I've heard him talk about parenting and like his daughters, and he's like, well, I'm on this podcast and I do, I talk how I talk and I am who I am. And he's like, it's just, why hide from who you are? He's smoked weed on the podcast and gotten wild. And yeah, I don't know. There are days I listen to his podcast and I'm just like, I'm really grateful that he's a loud voice and really brave too. You're concerned. It's not going to go, I promise.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I am too. Like
Really brave, man. Like
it's great that someone that has a good authentic mindset of free thinking and being who you are and being unapologetic and free speech is important, yet also the right to own a firearm is important. Like, it's great that that's probably the loudest voice out there. It really is, because I believe heavily in all those things as a necessity for the future of our world. If you start caving in on those things, we are in a lot of freaking trouble. Yeah. We just are, and it's great that that happens to be the loud voice. So, thanks, Joey. Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, does he ever go by Joey?
I have no idea. Like we've talked a little bit. Like I don't know him well enough to know that. Nor will I probably ever know him well enough. I'm not that important. Yeah. I'd probably leave that open for a little bit and then shut it. But whatever.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just not going to look at it, and when it's crushing out, I'm going to then say something.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't lost one yet.
You fly a little too much by the seat of your pants there, dog. I like to think I fly by the seat of my pants, but oh goodness.
All right, well, I had an interesting way to open up this podcast. We've never done this before, but I thought I wanted to get your reaction because I think this is a really interesting take. So on our previous podcast, I wish this person had a handle I could pronounce, but it's SOV3NGED, Sovind, says, and this has 55 likes, by the way, which is a lot for our comment section.
Okay.
Why do bow companies decide to drop their bows during archery season? I have always thought that is the dumbest idea ever. Bows drop in like July or August, give people time to order their bows for that year. And it has 20 replies. I'm not going to go through the replies, but what do you think about that take?
I can touch on that.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be willing to bet that, what was his name? Sorry?
It's just like Sylvain. It's hard to
Sylvain
pronounce.
Something.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet Sylvain is probably living in the East somewhere when seasons don't even get rolling till October. So he thinks that ordering a bow in June or July allows you enough time to have it ready to go by October. We hunt in August, bro. So that doesn't work for us at all. And yeah, I get we're not the bulk of the population, but they try to think about what's best for everyone. The other reality of bow launches being at that time, I think they do it when they do it for a couple of reasons. And I'll start back from the basis of when everybody used to launch product, which was the ATA show, which was in early January, right? When all the seasons are closed.
That was back in the day?
Yeah. All the seasons are closed. Like with Matthews, if you didn't go to the ATA show, you wouldn't get a bow for 3 months. You had to physically go there and place your orders. You couldn't give them to them ahead of time. Nobody took pre-orders. You had to be present, and you booked time with each brand when you were there. And you had to make sure you were in their booth at that time to place your orders. So that's when it originally started. And then I think it was PSE who decided that they're going to start launching earlier. Originally. And then one brand did it, and then the next brand did it, and the next brand did it, and the next brand did it. And before you know it, we're getting bows launching in September, like late September, all the way through the end of November, and occasionally one or two end up launching at the trade show now in January. The purpose of that and why it's logical of why they do it is, one, when they launch a bow, they want to know how many bows they're going to need to make. Okay, because it's not like they launch, take the new ARC Matthews, right? It's not like they know we're going to sell 150,000 ARCs this year, so we need to have 150,000 ARCs built. They launch bows when you're thinking about archery, because you are right now. You're hunting, right? You're bow hunting, or you just finished bow hunting and you might have a late season, depending on where you are. So almost everyone's in the mid-lull of their hunting period or the hunting experience. So you probably just had a bad experience with your bow, maybe, that sort of thing, but you're involved mentally and you're engaged. And you might, depending on who you are, you might not re-engage until August again, right? So they're launching bows while you're paying attention, which is smart. It really is. And if you launch bows in November, for example, brands are going to start ordering a bunch of stuff, but you have a whole lot of time to figure out which one's going to sell, how much is going to sell, etc., to better cultivate for the year. So by the time it rolls around to July, August, when you, whatever his name was, are actually giving a crap about buying a bow, they're pretty tailored into what you want and what have you. And now we've got a whole nother reason to get excited. And the way they have the season set up and the launches set up and the timeline set up, it actually flows best for the money, right? So you launch in November. If you're really a junkie, you're standing at the door on launch day to buy your new bow, if you can, at a big shop that actually has a lot of product, which, hey, spoiler alert, we got a lot of product. I'm not allowed to talk about exactly how much because certain people tell me I can't say, but which still baffles me. It's like,
Spoiler alert. Insert the clip of Josh folding his nuts out onto the table.
well, why can't
He's got
I
a lot
say
of bows.
Like, I got a lot of bows. At both stores,
You don't
lots
have
of bows.
to say it. I could say it. Josh has a lot of bows.
Sweet. Ironically, I have a website called podiumarchery.com that has all your archery needs for $99 and up with free shipping at that scenario. Comment down below on what we don't have that you're looking for in archery stuff. And
I have a discount code. It's discount code TimC. It'll help you save a few bucks on most items. It helps support what we do. And if you want to support this podcast, subscribe wherever you're listening. Leave it a review. That really does help. It helps us reach more people. And that's a good thing.
And if you want to understand how to find animals and how to kill animals, you got to know where they're living. And Mark Livesey's course at Treeline Pursuits is the most effective way to do that. And we have a discount code over there as well for 20% off. Discount code Josh and Tim. So you can find the animals that apparently I can't find anymore either. I need to use it because I can't find them because I suck.
Yeah, I'm not good at it. I need the help too. And all of this stuff always will be linked right down below in our description if you want to check it out or you want more information.
Brand X told me, please don't say anything. We're going to send you a bunch of bows so you can sell right out of the gate. We're allowed to pick one dealer out of our territory. You're getting mine. Blah, 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 right? And then Brandon does a video on how many bows we got. And I had no idea he was doing it.
Well,
He called me like, yeah, you didn't, but your fucking buddy Brandon did.
Yeah.
I'm like, I had no idea. I swear to God, I didn't know. I didn't say anything.
What a good boy Brandon is. Good boy, Brandon.
Oh, he doesn't know any better. He doesn't know you're going to get mad or what have you.
No.
But yeah, it's...
that's what you're supposed to do when you have inventory. You're supposed to tell people you have inventory.
I know. It's so screwed up. And because of the way our system works, I can't actually list my in-stock inventory of bows on the website because anything that's listed on the website you can buy. Now, I can put on there 7 ways from Sunday, and every brand lets me do this but Matthews, that you can purchase it, but you can't. I will not ship it to you, and you must come to the store to pick it up. And now that we've got the other store where people travel a lot to it, it's convenient for them to go on and pick out what they want, buy it, and then we'll build it, and then they show up in the store to pick it up and fit them and send them on their way, and then they're not standing around for 2 or 3 hours.
Well, and it helps your customer flow too.
Exactly.
Right.
Like everything about it benefits our productivity and us to be able to do a better job for the customer, and they're handcuffing me because some shop that does 30 bows will throw a fit that, hey, yeah, I was able to buy one on his website. He's selling them and shipping them. No, I'm not. It says it like 17 different places. But hopefully they'll revise that one to where everyone can do it. But currently they're the only little bugger that won't let me. It's just tough, man. I'm trying. And one reason or another, we can't figure out how to get it to where you can see it but not be able to buy it. We thought we had it figured out, but then we operated in a state where they don't charge tax on a service. So we put the bows under a category of service. So you could still see it. You could still click on it, but it wouldn't generate a label. So if you have an item, the system automatically generates a label if it shows it as a product. So we'd have to go through and cancel the label and inform the customer your bow's on hold and waiting for you. But yeah, it's a tricky little bugger trying to get it all working right. But I want people to be able to see how many bows we have. And honestly, I don't think they want people to see how many bows we have nationally, because then they're going to get barked at, right? Because, I mean, we're a very large account, and we order a lot right out of the gate. Like, I'm not exaggerating. I have 350 bows on order for each store for Matthews right now.
I mean, there should be perks to being a large account. Right?
I would assume, but a small account doesn't like that. And they'll whine and complain about it.
But you can't.
Because if you place a new order right now with Matthews, it's what, November 14th. If you place a new order with Matthews right now, you're not getting it until the end of March.
You'll never please everybody, though. You know, that's just the way it goes.
I'm not worried about pleasing them. They are still.
Right.
Like, just accept the fact that you're going to have some upset people. But, like, we're trying to operate this industry in a modern fashion, which I still rack my brain that I'm the person trying to be modern out of this.
It is crazy.
Because I am not that guy.
It is crazy.
I'm not that guy at all. I'm like, come on. Like, we had an argument the other day of who in the world doesn't allow this? Like today, think of it right now. Comment down below on this video if you're listening to it. A brand of product that does not allow their dealer to allow you to make the purchase online and come down to the store and pick it up. Find me one. Please. And they thought they had one. And while I was on the phone with them, I looked it up and went, there's 16 of this one right here at my local Ace Hardware. And I can click a button right now and buy it. And it'll be ready for me in 15 minutes to pick up. Or they'll deliver it to me tomorrow for a fee. You telling me that that's your example?
Yeah.
There isn't one. Like, there isn't anything, at least that I know, and I'm probably wrong. But if it's available to be shown that it exists online, you can buy it. And it'll be ready for you to pick up from almost any option. Now, it's bonkers. You can't. I can buy a gun and have it shipped
to an FFA or whatever. Yeah.
To an FFL.
Yeah.
To a shop and go down to a shop and pick it up and never actually walk in and look at it. And I can see their inventory and all that, like everything, like things that are federally restricted. I can do it with.
Can buy a vehicle and do that.
It's just nuts. I can have freaking gunpowder delivered to my door. Like, why in the world can't I at least prepay for it and go down to the store and pick it up on the internet?
Yeah.
The place that everyone is. Like, if I don't know anybody that's not on the internet to some degree.
Yeah, let's fast forward into the future a little on that. Like, okay, a customer walks into your door and they say, okay, I would like to buy a Matthews, right? Versus knowing what they want when they come in. Mm-hmm. Or pre-buying it. Then you have all of that conversation and shit, or maybe they want to try multiple bows and all of these things that might take up an extra time versus a person who's like, I know what I want. I can remember like one of the first bows I wanted was a Bowtech 33 like 7 years ago, Realm X. Mm-hmm. And I can remember going to the shop and being like, I'd like to get this bow. And they're like, well, we don't know when we're going to have it. I was like, I'll put my money down now. And they're like, when they got to wait for it to come in, I'm like, what?
Remember those old days?
Yeah. So this is just like an evolution of that. It's like, if you know what you want, you should be able to buy it and walk up there and get it. Well, I can understand not shipping it if that was like against your ethos or whatever.
Fine. That's fine.
If that's against your ethos, that could make some sense because you're protecting your dealers in some sorts. But you're literally slowing down your dealer flow. And if you were to say like those dealers, they can't have, we don't want them on the website. We don't want their inventory on the website. Like in today's day and age, I mean, Louis could almost design a website in 30 minutes and show his inventory.
Yeah, it's not hard.
It's not hard. It's really not. Everything is drag and drop. Like, you don't have to be technically oriented. You could do it through Wix. You could do it through a variety of hosts. And you could literally just have it on your website and show that you have it in inventory if you're a small mom and pop shop, you know? Mm-hmm. And then your customer who's sitting an hour away could look and be like, do I want to waste my time and drive, you know?
Well, it's less phone calls we got, like, because that's one of the things we're getting now. Hey, do you have this in stock? Mm-hmm. Like a lot, especially this time of year, because we've got a ton of people driving over in Nashville area. Like, we didn't have a launch last year because we started in January, so I had no idea what to expect. Holy crap! Like crazy amounts of people traveling. And because of that, I'm pivoting. I'm going, okay, I need to have way more bows early. And I did, and make sure I'm buying a lot much. I already had a couple hundred, but I added, after day one, I added another 150 bows to the pre-orders. Yeah. So, I mean, we're optimistic that our goal is to never run out of Kodiak in a 34 or a 30 for the year.
Yeah.
The new brown color that Matthews came out with, our goal is to never run out of it. We will always have one.
No.
And hopefully within a couple weeks from now, that'll be the case. Like from December forward, we're not out of Kodiak. Come from anywhere, travel from anywhere, plan ahead. If you want Kodiak, we will have it.
Right on.
In one of those two bows.
Well, the original question was the launch date. I think.
Why? What's the purpose? And I think pretty sure I answered that accurately.
Yeah, you covered it. But I think the counter argument to that is like, dude, I'm in the middle of whitetail season in the rut. Like, if I want a new bow, it's the most inconvenient timing ever.
Well, if you're going to buy a new bow, you're not going to go hunting with it tomorrow.
Right.
You're being irresponsible.
That's the trouble. That's what I'm saying with the bow launch being in the middle of November.
Well, but 90% of the shops won't have product. So the bow exists, but in general, you can't run in and buy one.
Right.
Right? So it gives them time to get feedback. That's the whole point. That's also part of why I think they do it then, is because they don't expect people to immediately be sticking the needle in their arm, but they're going to be calling and looking. And they're also not going to be, I must have this bow tomorrow.
So that's a bit of the manufacturer perspective. But like, what about the consumer perspective? Most people are whitetail hunting. They're like, it's whitetail season. I'm excited. Like, this seems like the worst time ever to buy a bow.
This is my bow for next year. How is that the worst time ever?
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't. I get that, hey, bow launch would be great in August if you're hunting in October. I understand that. I understand the logic behind that. But one, you're ignoring every other hunting season that everybody else participates in. Like, we're hunting in the spring for big game, right?
That's true.
You're hunting bear, I'm hunting bear.
Yeah.
Right? So it's relevant to me. You should have your bow for at least 2 months before you go hunting in general. Like, yes, you can squeeze it out in a week or whatever if you had to, but you should have reps behind your bow before you go hunting.
God.
You should. So
That's a good take.
Well, it is. It's reality,
Yeah.
right? So in theory, if the bow comes out in November and season's closed at the end of December, depending on where you're at, some go into January, but you're probably not using that bow this year. You're probably using it next year.
Yeah.
And I think the largest part of it is they want a bunch of feedback with time to pivot, right? Like, let's say Hoyt comes out with 5 new bows, right? And only 2 of them are cranking. Like, the other 3 are just not selling very well. They have time to shift their machinery and their building schedule to make sure they're building way more of the ones that are selling and way less of the ones that aren't, so they can fulfill your needs when you're looking for it, right? Which is why most of this stuff is kind of a disaster till March. Like, most shops that you go into around the country probably don't have a good amount of inventory until March. And they've had time from you coming in pre-ordering bows, because that's what most shops operate. It's not how we operate, but that's how most shops operate. They expect you to come in, try out their samples, pick out what you want. They make sure they have it on order. They call you when they get it a month later, 2 months later, 3 months later, whatever it is.
So what's the typical run-up time on if you're running that program and you order a bow? Are we expecting to get a bow in 8 weeks, 10 weeks? Like,
Well, like right now, to give you an example, like let's say you order Kodiak with bottomland limbs, right? It's not a standard bow, right? You're not getting that bow till April if you ordered it today.
What if I ordered a non-standard Hoyt?
I'm not sure, but it's probably not that different. It's probably a little quicker, but not by a ton. And I haven't talked to them to see how backordered they are already. Matthews notoriously gets backordered till March, almost right out of the gate. Like, if you get a day into launch, because they'll take pre-orders, and most of their good accounts are more than willing to order blind. I've been ordering blind for 10 years. Like, I have no idea. I do now, but then up until probably a year ago, I barely knew what you were making ahead of time. Like, I knew like 3 little factors of it. I haven't seen a picture of it. I know how much it costs and I know how much you're selling it for. And I know its drawing spectrum is, and what its speed is, and what its brace height and its axle to axle. I know the stat numbers that we measure. That's it. I didn't get to shoot it. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what it feels like. I have no idea. And then it's like, you want to place an order?
Yeah, that's tough.
30 days before launch. It's like, well, I guess, right? And it took a couple of years of, actually, it probably took more like 4 or 5 years.
In those years, you
like
weren't
me,
seeing samples?
No. You didn't see the bow before the launch date.
That's so tough.
But you could order it 30 days ahead of time. And they've been doing that forever, right? So the only option I had, I knew brand X, brand Y, brand Z, how many we sold last year? Historically. So I'll order half of a year's worth right now. And hope to God that I don't end up taking it in the shorts because nobody likes that bow.
Yeah.
Right? But what it did for me, and for shops that are listening to this is how I've bought for a long time. It's like, I have bows. You don't. Maybe I guessed wrong, and maybe it cost me a lot of money. And I've had years where I took it in the shorts hard. Like, I probably lost a quarter of my profit for the year because I guessed wrong. And that's the risk you take. So for the shops out there that are complaining that he has so much inventory and we don't, and it's not fair, I'm taking a big fucking risk that you're not willing to take. And if you don't want to take it, that's fine. But don't get mad that I'm benefiting from also taking the risk on the ones that hit.
Yeah.
It's like you're playing roulette or whatnot and betting one thing. I'm betting 7.
Yeah.
And I'm betting more on this one than that one, and more on this one than that one, and more on this one than that one. And over the average, I happen to be hitting more often than you are. That doesn't make it unfair. That's me gambling. I tell people I don't gamble because I do that enough in my job.
Yeah.
And that's why. Because
that's an educated gamble.
Like, I will blame up until now, because I actually see them ahead of time. So yes, that part's probably unfair. But up until this year, I did not get that. up until now, and I was still doing really big numbers across the board. And I've had one year, and I'm not going to say the brand because it's going to be hurtful. I ordered 100 of their bows, and at the end of the year, I had 80 of them. They didn't sell, like hardly at all, and I bought a bunch to make sure I had product. So keep that in mind when you see me having lots of product. There's bows that I take it bad on.
It's the life of a
and
business
I take
owner.
a bath on them.
Yeah.
I have to mark them down to below what I paid for them to get rid of them and lose money. And I paid for them 8 months ago or 6 months ago, and they're still sitting here. Like, I take that risk every year to make sure the customer can walk in and try and get anything he wants. That's the cost of doing it, and it's not cheap. And if you're smaller, if you're doing under $1 million a year, you can't do that. Like, you can't take that risk. But the side product is, I'm going to have bows when you're not. So don't get mad at me for taking the risk.
It's just the life of a business owner, man. Like, the risk is the upside, right? Like, that's just is what it is. I mean, if you go into business for yourself, you're assuming more risk, more liability, all these things. But
high risk, high reward.
In theory,
just the reality of it. It's hard, but that's how we end up with bows.
Yeah,
is that I'm blatant. Like, I had.
Well, that's not.
I had a couple hundred Matthews at each store on order pre-launch.
Yeah,
and then after day one, I modified.
It's
said,
not.
Okay, these are selling really fast. Those not so fast. These are selling really fast. Those not so fast.
Yeah.
Change these numbers and increase these a lot.
It's not fair to say you're gambling either, because you have a unique perspective. You've been raised in the industry. You've been around it forever. So you're making educated decisions, but you don't know, right?
Being really good at poker is still gambling, isn't it?
No.
No, you don't think so?
No, not at all.
You don't think so?
No, when you're really good at poker and you're professional, it's not gambling, because you're winning more than you're losing. And you know that at the end of the day, your time...
So your definition of gambling is losing?
Your definition...
You can be good at gambling. It's still gambling.
Not if you're a pro, no.
Yes, it is.
No,
it's still
not.
gambling.
No.
You're just better at it than everybody else, so you're making money at it. It's still gambling.
No.
You can still be wrong. You can still bet hard.
Gambling with an edge is not
lose big.
gambling. Gambling with an edge is not gambling.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm counting cards here.
Well, it's just education within the history.
I understand that. That just means I'm really good at gambling. That's what that means. It does not mean it's not gambling. Because, case in point, brand X I bought 100 of, and I ended up with 80. That's a loss.
Right.
That's a bad loss. Now, did my other wins offset it? Yes. But it's still gambling. I'm still taking my money and throwing it out on a table and praying to God it comes back to me with more. It is the same thing.
You're not praying to God.
I have, dude. There's been freaking
You're just
days
being
where I'm praying to God.
humble. You've been in the industry since you're 12.
Younger than that, actually.
Yeah, younger than that. Since I was 6, actually.
It's still a gamble.
Yeah,
man.
I get it. I
is.
understand.
It is. It's easy for you to say that when it's not your money you put out there, and it's offensive to me, honestly, to say that it's not gambling when I know physically I'm guessing and I'm putting my money out there and I'm praying to God it comes back. It is gambling. No different than buying gray light and doing all the blind stuff. It's me gambling. It is, because it feels that way to me.
I get it.
100% feels like I'm taking a risk and I'm throwing money out there and it might not come back.
Yeah.
That's a gamble. As opposed to walking into a business, giving your 40 hours a week for X amount of dollars. You're getting that back no matter what. You're transacting. That's not gambling. That's going to work. I'm gambling. Buying 1,000 packs of speeds is gambling. And right now that's not paying really great. Even though that broadhead worked way better than anything I've tried, and it did an amazing job.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. I'm 100% shocked by it, not to pivot. But
no, I hear what you're saying, because it feels risky what you're doing.
It doesn't feel risky. It is risky. It is. It is absolutely risky. Like, yeah,
sure.
we went big on Darton early. Like, I gave them orders before you guys ever saw them and gave me feedback of what you thought. I just assuming what you're going to think. Right? And I gave them large orders for both stores before launch. I literally had 400 between both stores, at least, Matthews bows on order 25 days before I saw one. And I had it for 1 day before launch. That's a gamble. Now, they don't traditionally lay an egg, but they've had years where they didn't do great, where 200 to 250 might be too many, and that's on opening. And then that also means I've got to pay for those bows all year because they took all year to sell, instead of I'm going to burn through all this in like 30 days or 60 days or 90 days. And then I don't have the money on it and I'm paying interest on it. Right? So it is. I mean, I know it doesn't look that way because it's a hobby and it's fun and all the great stuff. Because all you do is play with bows all day. It's all great. It's like, dude, you have no idea the financial strain and stress and burden that's on me every day. Is nuts.
Anything you turn into a business is that way.
Well, anytime you try to grow your business, it's usually a higher level of risk.
Yeah.
And a higher level of money involved.
Yeah. My counterpoint is not that you're not gambling. It's just that you have, say, 30 or 35 years of industry experience. So it's an educated decision, although it may feel risky.
It feels like less of a risk, but it's still gambling.
Yeah. 35 years of data, 35 years of time at the counter, 35 years of order history. Like, these are all things that a professional has. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you're a pro.
I don't even know if I like that term.
Yeah.
I guess I'm kind of
like it or hate it, you know?
Yeah.
You are.
Hate it or love it, the underdog's on top. Yeah. I'm going to shine, homie, until my heart stops.
Yes, exactly.
That was a great tune, man.
Yeah.
That came out. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's a good tune. I'm not big into rap, but I was like, that's a good one. I like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's also hunting season, man. God, that was an interesting take where that took us, didn't it?
We ran down a rabbit hole real fast. Ooh, that was almost a 30-minute rabbit hole.
Just a one reaction. What do we have to do to get through 5 reactions? No, it is whitetail season. This whitetail season for me is shaping up to be so interesting. I don't have anything really exciting to report other than, like, it's my first year really exploring not hunting over bait. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, I feel like I'm learning a lot and really fast, and it's been exciting that way. But
how's that been going? Give me some feedback. What are you doing? Or unless you don't want to discuss it.
No, I'm cool to discuss.
What are you doing to try to entice your critters into your little pigeonhole, or are you just finding
pigeonhole?
Or are you finding their pigeonhole?
What am I doing to try to trick them into
game plan? What's your trickery?
Trying to trick them into getting under my tree stand.
Yeah, as I have not been a traditional whitetail hunter, I've always hunted over bait my entire life, right? So
Me too.
I'm also learning how to hunt whitetail, like most people are hunting whitetail.
I was raised in that program as well. I've always hunted states where baiting was allowed, and in those states, I mean, it's pretty traditional. You just run bait. Like, most people aren't archery hunting not over bait. Mm-hmm. So over the years, like, I've heard local guys in our areas have success. Troy Pottinger being one of them. Yep. He's a big mock scrape advocate. His hunting resume is one that most people could look at and be like, if I started today and spent my whole life doing that, I'm not sure I would accomplish what he's accomplished.
Right.
So he's an incredible whitetail hunter, but he's a big advocate for a mock scrape. But if I'm starting at the ground level, it's like I'm doing more time looking at maps. And I learned a lot about looking at maps from elk, really. Mm-hmm. Elk kind of taught me how to look at maps. And a lot of that comes to, like, learning myself how to travel through the mountains. You have to know where your terrain is, and then elk use that terrain as well. So I'm looking at maps more to help me figure out where I'm going to scout, particularly when it comes to, like, just scouting time. And then I've spent a lot of time with the boots on the ground as well, just walking around. Because like, the area particularly I've been, it's not real easy to look at a map and be like, there's deer here. I know there's deer in the area.
Sure.
But there are little features and stuff. But
well, that depends. If you use treeline pursuits and follow all the things, then you might actually be able to find those deer quite easier. And you can get, like, there's like 7 things. All these 7 things exist.
Well, he does the elk and the bear course.
Oh, he doesn't have a deer one?
Maybe the deer course will be next.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
And I would have thought he'd have that.
Yeah.
All right, scratch that.
So, but anyway, kind of looking for features, starting there. Like, edge habitat's a big one. You know, animals like edge habitat. Animals don't want to have to expend more energy than they need to traveling, so little travel corridors and pinches and shit like that. But I've spent a lot of time with the boots on my ground just looking for rubs and scrapes and where deer travel, and I've set a lot of trail cameras with mock scrapes as well. And
what are you using for your mock scrapes?
I'm just using like a little synthetic powder, put that into the scrape and mix it up with the dirt. And then the big thing I've learned about the amount of scrapes I've set so far is, like, and this might sound like, of course, but you do want to set your scrapes in an area where, like, if you ran up on, you'd be like, oh, that makes sense. There's a scrape here. Mm-hmm. Like, it's got the branch above it. It might be in a little, like an old logging road or an area deer might travel or a runway. Because the scrapes I've set where I've just been like, oh, like I'm just going to throw a scrape here and maybe I'll get some traffic, like those aren't seeing much traffic. But the scrapes that I have set where it's like, oh, there makes sense. There would be a scrape here. Or I've opened up another deer scrape. Like those are getting more traffic. So yeah, that's just kind of like, and honestly, I'm just spending a lot of time like trying stuff here, trying stuff there, and checking trail cameras and just seeing what's happening. But our rut definitely seems like it runs a week behind of what I felt was traditional in Michigan. Just growing up in Michigan, like around, I always felt like the 13th to the 20th was like a peak rut date. It feels like out here it's like the 20th to the 27th. What do you feel like on that? Like peak rut?
I think that's probably right.
Yeah, like around Thanksgiving.
But it's weather restricted, right?
Yeah.
Now, if it's hot, you're probably not going to get it. If it's cold,
Yeah.
and it gets cold early, you might get it earlier.
Yeah.
Just depends. I personally think it's got a lot to do with weather and temperature, but I still haven't hunted it enough to really be like, yes, 100%, we need to be out here now. But traditionally, when it's cold, you better be hunting.
Yeah. Well, my time spending running trail cameras in Washington, it's like, or this area, say this greater area, is like after the 20th of November, it seems like it's on. Like bucks are daylighting, bucks are cruising at noon, and it's like the 20th to the 30th. But obviously that could be give or take days as well. Yeah.
Have you sat at all?
No, I haven't sat yet. I'm ready to. In fact, I think the next time I go out, I'm going to sit. But what I was going to say was like, I never really believed in the October lull. I don't know if you've ever heard that term. Like deer, a lot of Midwestern guys might say like October, especially towards the end of October, like there's a lull period where deer might just not be very active or kind of locked down or not moving. I still don't know if that's true at all. I think it's very situational, but I saw a week this year. It was like, say, almost the first week in November or that last week of October where deer movement was very little. And then it was like November 6th or 7th, it was like a light switch changed.
To give you a little bit of context into that, because I've been hunting deer, I've been in Tennessee, I've been in Texas, and I've been in Oklahoma up until I got back for this, and I started that in late October.
Yeah.
Right? And everywhere I went, all three places, bucks were just checking does and moving on. Now, the does might not be hot yet,
but they're moving around.
That was their activity, and they very rarely were coming to a food source, or if they were there for a minute and then off, right? Yeah, they were coming around, checking does, and moving on. Like you'd see a big buck, and you'd see him for 2 minutes, and then he's gone. You'll find another doe. And that's been, let me look at I don't even remember the exact date I started from, just being fair with it, so we're giving good context here. But I can't.
So we got to talk about your hunts, man. Like, what was the first hunt you went on?
So let me get back in here. Okay, so that was Oklahoma. So I started with my buddy Townsend in October. I think we were hunting like 28th. Yeah, we started hunting on like the 28th and hunted for 4 days in south of Nashville, a couple hours, on some farmland that he had access to. He's got some landowner that he's befriended over the years that he does a lot of guiding for, and he's got access to so many different places. It's crazy, and he keeps getting them. Like honestly, I won't have to look for a place to hunt in almost any state if he keeps it up. Like there's so many places. He's like, hey, we can go here, we can go here, we can go here. I'm just like, awesome. This is amazing. I don't know how I'm going to manage all this, navigate all this, because there's just too many options. But we went hunting for 4 days, and like immediately day one, like that's what bucks were doing. They were
October 28th.
Yeah, October 28th. They
makes sense.
When we saw bucks, they were literally walking over to where the does were, sniffing the does, and then moving on. And I've experienced that those 4 days, and then I went back to Nashville, did a podcast, and worked in the shop for a couple of days, and then got on a plane and went to Texas. And same with the deer in Texas. The bigger bucks weren't. Texas is all overfeed, and the bigger bucks were not coming into the feed. They'd come up to the edge. They'd be out like 40 yards and sniffing does. And
is this the same Texas place you've been?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've been to 2 different places in Texas in last year. This is you fly into Midland, but honestly, I don't even think I'm going to fly into Midland anymore, because you always end up with a connecting flight to get there. Like you can't, even from flying from Nashville, I can't fly straight to Midland. I have to fly to like Austin or San Antonio or Dallas to get there, or Denver. I think there's a Denver over. So it's easier to me from where I'm at because I'm hunting east of Midland, and all those other Texas cities that I mentioned are east. It's actually probably easier. I narrowed it down to Austin because Austin tends to be the cheapest, and they're all kind of equidistant. It's easier for me to fly into Austin and rent a car and drive because I'm going to rent a car from Midland, drive there anyway. So I think going forward in the future, because there's so many more flight options in and out, and it's cheaper. Like Austin's incredibly cheaper to fly into. I'm probably just going to fly into Austin and drive 4 hours to where I'm hunting over there. So for what it's worth, but same thing going into Mexico. I go back to there, so I'm flying into Austin, not Midland. But in any event, they're not coming into food at all, and they're chasing does, and that's like warm area.
Yeah, in Texas,
Right, so-
their rut runs even further behind ours, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was already seeing that. I had 3 days of hunting there. I had a day before travel and a day after travel, but sat for 3 days, so 6 sits, and every big buck I saw, which I was only management hunting, so I was shooting does and spikes and cull bucks and a one like management 8-point, so it's a mature 8-point that isn't ever going to become a 10-point, right? A smooth 8, slick 8, no bumps, no nothing. And that's a great hunt that I like to do every year just because it's fun and it's relatively cheap and you shoot a lot. I think I shot 6 deer there.
Yeah, that kind of time in the reps in the red zone is invaluable.
Yeah, it's just and it's hard to duplicate that for reasonable, right? And
Yeah.
it's not super expensive. It's like under $2,000.
Yeah.
And they provide food and all that for you. So and a place to stay. You just drive there and drive back to the airport or whatnot. So, but that one was great, and that's the experience I had with those deer. Same sort of thing, and that's what everybody else was experiencing. There was 6 of us hunting, and then I drove from there to Oklahoma City, and then hunted outside of Oklahoma. And same thing, like those deer, the big bucks were not interested in feed. They were coming to feed if there were deer on it, and if there weren't does on it, they weren't even like interested at all. I shot a buck that we couldn't find, and I'm still kind of baffled that we couldn't find it, to be honest, because we got footage of it, and it was bleeding like crazy. Like you could see the blood spraying
what a
out of
bummer.
him when he was running away. Not to get graphic on you or anything like that to the people that aren't into that, but we rattled that buck in. Like he was going through the timber behind us. We're on a field edge in a pop-up blind, and we rattled, and 4 minutes later, he was 5 yards behind us, cruising through the.
Was he posturing or anything?
No, he never saw a doe and didn't see. We had a buck decoy in front of us, but we tried that one day, and it was not good. Like we're like, pull that thing out of here. All the deer are acting weird. None of the does will come over here.
Yeah.
Because every buck, even the little bucks, were chasing the does around. Like little spikes were running after the does every time they saw a doe. So it's like you just put the thing that is going to deter does in front of us. Like pull that out of here, and then does would come back in, and then bucks would come to try to check the does. So then you have a chance to get a shot at him. And he looped all the way behind us, only 5 yards behind us, went up the field edge, popped out in the field, and walked back around in front of us, looking for whatever that was, looking for a fight. And every buck we saw was looking for a fight. Everyone. I think you have that activity for a while, but they had said they'd been seeing him acting like that for a while too.
Good.
So I think it's late October.
Yeah.
Like last part of October.
Yeah,
starts
I
really
always
getting
like
good.
traditionally hunting around Halloween. Like last week of October, I've always loved, but just what I've observed this year was like a week of just downtime. And it was just like very light activity.
Well, was it warm here then though?
I can't remember. I'd have to look
I'm
back.
trying to remember. I wasn't here, so I
Yeah.
don't remember. But
Yeah.
I could have sworn I remembered looking, and it got cold.
But it was
Like-
interesting.
Like everywhere I was, it got cold.
Yeah,
Like
which is-
one morning, when me and Joe were sitting in the blind, it was 26 in Oklahoma, and there were a couple mornings in Texas it was just above freezing,
Yeah.
and Tennessee same thing. It was rainy and cold, so that once again that weather might have more to do with it than anything.
Yeah.
So if it's wet and cold, probably a good time to be hunting.
So what do you think happened with the deer you didn't recover?
To be honest, I didn't make a good shot on him. It's my brain short circuited, and that's happened 2 times in the last 2 years that I can remember.
Was it a blackout situation?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was. I'm just going to be honest. Like like when I try to think back on it, I can vaguely remember parts of what happened.
Yeah. It's adrenaline too. Like,
It is.
yeah.
It is. And unfortunately, that's the first deer I saw. The first deer I had a chance to shoot. Like I was like, ah. And whenever it approaches like the biggest deer I've ever shot, I get nervous again.
He was big?
Yeah, he's close to 160-inch 11
God,
point.
That's a big deer.
And on film. And I have not shot animals on film.
Oh, okay.
Like I really haven't. So it added another little heightened, like, okay, I can't screw this up in my head. And just the dumbest things you could say to yourself.
Yes. Anytime you're saying I can't screw this up, that is not a good dialogue.
So I remember my pin being on the deer and me firing the bow. And that's it. I don't remember any other part of it. And I'm like, God, you moron. I was sick to my stomach, down on myself bad. And you know, because I haven't hunted a shit ton of whitetail, and I'm traditionally not hunting them in the rut times and whatnot. I mean, deer duck, but not like a lot to me in my experiences of what I've been hunting. And oh my God, these deer duck. Holy wow. I've got one on film. The buck I shot at the next day had double main beam. So in Oklahoma, you can shoot 6 deer. 2 of them can be bucks with visible horns. I think you have to be like at least 3 inches long to be determined to be a buck.
Not invisible horns?
Not nubbins.
Yeah.
Right? They got to be of a certain length to actually count as a buck as opposed to count as a doe on the quantity of deer you can shoot. And this one buck had a double main beam. He wasn't massive. He would have been, like if he was normal, he would have been, you'd probably let him go, but you don't see that very often. And I shot at him at like 40 yards, and I put my pin on, it's on film, put my finger on the screen where I was pointing, and my arrow hit where I was pointing, and he completely ducked all the way underneath my arrow. Like didn't even hit him at all. And his belly was in the dirt when my arrow went over him. So 40 yards is a terrible distance. And Brandon put out that little clip, I don't know if you saw it, where he hit that deer in the high back.
I did, yeah.
And it was 40 yards.
Gave it a haircut, basically.
It's the worst. Oh, his sliced open. It wasn't hair. You know, he hit meat for sure. But it's the worst distance to shoot a deer. I honestly would rather shoot a deer at 60 yards now that I've done it a couple of times and watched how much they duck.
Well, and how was the body language on the deer you shot at 40?
I shot at both of them.
Right.
He was
the one you was talking about ducking.
He was keened up, but at the same time not crazy.
Was his head down or up? Do you remember?
So I've seen it happen both ways. I've seen it happen like Brandon's.
But what was your deer's doing?
He had stuck his head down.
Yeah.
Which I've been told don't shoot them when their head's down. They can get down lower quicker.
It just seems like there's more capacity to get lower.
Brandon's deer's head was up, and it dropped farther than mine did. Like he was aiming under the deer.
Right.
I was aiming like heart height, like bottom third, maybe a tiny bit lower, right at the knuckle. And it broke clean. And if you watch like the film back, it hit the dirt right where my finger, right where the dot was. So yeah, it's wild. And so from then there on, I'm like, all right, I got to aim at the bottom of the deer, and I'm not going to shoot that distance. It's not good.
That's tough, yeah.
And then I ended up shooting just a decent 8 point on the last day because I kind of felt bad because the cameraman was with me the entire time, and I think it was either 4 days or 5 days of hunting, and I hadn't killed something. And got tons of footage, tons of great shots, all that stuff. And so a decent buck comes in. I'm like, well, I've got 2 tags, and we still might find that other buck. So I'll burn the one. I had like 1 day left after that. I shot a doe like the second day to have camp meat. So we eat food, eat off of something that we shot. Because I'm like, you can shoot 6, and I'm only here for 5 days. Might as well.
It's a lot.
Because they're trying to manage deer, just like any other place that offers a lot of tags. It's like we need to kill does, and that's part of the deal. And I shot that deer right after I missed I shot over the double main beam. That deer was standing right in front of me when I shot over that double main beam. And Joe just looks over and goes, just shoot that deer. We're done this morning. Just kill that deer. I'm like, all right, cool. And lay on it. And dude, it ducked too. And it was 20 yards, and it ducked a decent amount, leaned back, and literally hit the ground and couldn't get up. And I mean, I don't know how graphic you want me to get here, but it was literally like there was like massive amounts of blood, and it was dead in 10 seconds and couldn't get off the ground.
Yeah.
And that broadhead, like I shot 8 deer with a speed now. Every single deer I shot you can see the entrance hole immediately. Like 100% undeniable. Yep, there it is. I see it as he's running away.
So it's opening on entrance.
It's definitely opening a 2-inch hole on entry. It's holding a 2-inch hole on exit. I only had 2 deer out of the 8 or 9 deer that I shot with that broadhead that it didn't fully pass through. One, he ducked and I severed his spine, and I went through 3/4 of the entire spinal column. Like the ferrule was sticking down the skin on the other side, and it landed perfectly vertical, right? And it severed the entire thing, like from one edge of his body to 3/4 of the way through the other edge of his body, clean through it. Broadhead 100% intact, blades not bent. Every one I recovered. There were 2 arrows I couldn't recover because they went through them, hit the ground, and skipped off, and we just never found the arrow. Every ferrule was 100% intact without a problem. Every blade was 100% intact and straight. Like if you cleaned it up and touched it up, you could probably easily reuse it. The other animal I didn't get a full pass through on was the 8-point buck that I shot in Tennessee, and I shot him through the shoulders at 70 yards and went through side A, side B, and the ferrule stuck through the skin on the other side of side B at 70. And he ran 35 yards and piled up. I could watch him fall. He just hit the tree line, slid down, and saw him try to pick his head up, and then his head went back down in 10 seconds, 15 seconds, gone. Right. Great situation, everything perfect. So, and every other animal that I shot, I went completely through them. Even the buck I didn't make a great shot on, where I just short-circuited, my veins were caught on the offside skin. Like the whole arrow completely disappeared inside of him and was caught just barely by the last.
You said how far was that shot?
That was like 35.
Oh, I thought you said it was like 5.
No. It was like 35. He walked 5 yards behind us.
That's what I thought.
Like you could see it there, like this little pocket. You could look through the back of the blind, and from my head, and I turned that way, and I looked, and I see this cruising right by. I was like, holy shit. Biggest buck we'd seen the whole time. Had no idea.
So you had like time to get.
Oh, I had time to think about it. And that's terrible. Like just flat horrible.
Yeah.
And then he does exactly what you'd hoped he'd do. He goes down, loops back around, comes out in the open, and walks right back out in front of you, looking for what made that noise. Where is it? Walked right in front of us, and I rushed it so bad. Joe was filming it, and he's like, "You shot so fast, it wasn't even funny."
Quick draw McGraw situation.
Dude, I pulled back anchored and shot like that. It was like, he's going to go. He's not going to stop. And as soon as I drew, he stopped. He heard me draw because I forgot to put my fleece on my launcher.
Yeah.
And he could hear the as it came back, which actually worked great because every deer that was moving, as soon as I draw back, they'd stop and be like, "What was that?" Whack. So, but yeah, it was a really cool situation, and I just screwed it up. And I'm still really mad at myself because it's all stuff that I know better. I mean, I've been hunting since I was 7. I've been hunting 40 years. It's like, you know better.
Yeah.
Like, come on. You can't just shit the bed like that. You can't just black out. When you're new, I get it. Like, it's also freaking adrenaline running. Everything's so exciting, and your brain just goes, "Oh, shoot him!" Right? Like, you don't think at all. Like, I know better. I really do, and I'm mad at myself for it because that's close to, if not the biggest buck I ever shot. And he was cool looking. Like he went out like that, and he was wide. It was just, oh man, gosh dang.
Yeah. Are you gonna put the? Do you know you're gonna put the video out?
It's on Pigman's thing. It's not my recording.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So the Oklahoma was on the Pigman.
Okay.
And it'll be on his channel at some point.
Okay.
I think they're putting it out next year in like July or something. And I'm not sure what all they're going to show and what all they're not. And I'm just like, hey,
It's their deal. Yeah.
Joe was so funny, dude. Right after I shot that deer, and I'm just like, God damn, I can hear me. Fuck, I hit him high. Ah, shit. Right. And the deer leaves, and I'm watching him with my binos because he stood there for out in the distance behind some trees, and I could still see his horns. And I kept going, God, please fall, please fall, please fall. And then he turned and started walking off slowly. I'm like, God damn it. And Joe looks at me, and he goes, sorry, bro. What just happened? I was like, well, I blacked out and made a bad shot, and it's embarrassing, but I'm still a human, and I make mistakes. It's real. Yeah. You know, you get that heightened level of excitement. No different than like my mule deer. I like that I shot in Mexico last year. It's the biggest mule deer I've ever killed. My brain struggled to remember what happened. You know, I got him, and it was all fine and dandy and whatnot, but it was like my discipline went out the window. And it's the only thing I can assume is I just need to be in that situation more often and work my way through
That
it
helps.
to have it, right?
That's what's unique about hunting, though, is those. I mean, once in a lifetime, right? You can't keep replicating those things. You can get reps in the red zone. You can train all you want, but when the moment of truth, like, it's just freaking tough.
Mm-hmm.
It's just tough. Yeah, it's real though, And just because you know what to do doesn't mean you're guaranteed to do it either.
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, Oklahoma. Oh, what I was going to ask was, do you think that deer passed or no? Like, do you think he survived?
So part of what I think went wrong here, because we had a guide picking us up and dropping us off, and we showed him the footage really quickly, and his brain immediately went, "That deer's not dead." Same with Joe's. Like where I shot him, like if my broadhead had been vertical, he'd have died for sure. But it hit horizontal,
Okay.
so you didn't get the depth of the height, right? And I even went, it's not great, right? But then we get out there and we start tracking. I was like, well, because the other thing was, he was off in another field just scouting and glassing, and he's like, he saw that deer. He saw him from the other side, so he didn't see the blood completely down the one side. Like he bled like from high all the way down to his leg was covered with blood.
Okay.
And we know that because he walked in front of some other dude's camera that sent him a picture and said, "Hey, did you guys shoot a deer over there?" There's a picture in front of my camera, and you can see blood from top to bottom on one side. He saw the initial video and then saw the deer. Like, he's like, "I saw that deer an hour ago walking across the field with a slight limp," because he had a slight limp when we saw him. Like, he'd just gotten in a fight and got guard or something a little bit. And he looked fine outside of the slight limp. So his brain went, that deer's not going to die at that point. I believe that. And Joe thought that as well. Meanwhile, I'm like, well, let's just follow the blood and see what we see, just to make sure 100% that was the deer. If he comes out over this tree line and his trail goes towards that field, then we at least know that was the deer for sure. Because at the same time, I go, I don't know how you didn't see blood on him, because there's a lot of blood. Like, so to tell me you saw the deer that I shot, but you didn't see any blood on him, doesn't make any sense to me. So we followed the trail, and I followed it easily. Like, there was rarely a moment where it's like, oh, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, there's some more blood, right? And he was out in front of us with a freaking cell phone light, just looking at stuff, because it was dark at that point. We didn't even bother trying to track him through the field. We just went, I know he went over to these trees somewhere in here.
Where he was, yeah.
So we're going to try to find that spot. And when I found that spot, and there was blood all over the ground where he stood there. And I followed blood relatively easily the entire way till he hit the field. And it was just, I honestly think he was just humoring me. He's like, yeah, sure, we'll follow it. That's fine. Found my arrow, 200 yards from where I shot him. It finally kicked out of his skin. And it was, the right color of blood. And it was red. And I'm like, all right. Well, we have it on film. We know where he hit him, right? And ended up following until we came out onto the field. And then once you hit the field, you can't figure out where they go, because it's all tall, laid over grass. Couldn't really see blood, but also really weren't looking, because we're like, hey, either way, we have now gone 400 yards, probably. It's like, so this deer in dead right now, or it could be, but not very likely.
Yeah, once you get outside of 400 yards, I would say your recovery rate goes down dramatically.
Yeah, but we had also not gotten to his bedding area.
Yep.
Yet, right? So, and he said, then this is right. I saw him right over here walking across this field, like there was nothing really wrong with him. Like, all right, well, let's get out of here, and maybe we'll come back and look after we hunt in the morning and see if we can find him more. And the other issue is we're going into the bedding area where a lot of the animals sleep, and we're going to jack it up.
Right.
And that's going to make for worse hunting. So, but then the next day, I asked Joe, I was like, hey, can I see that footage? He's like, oh, yeah, sure. Just take me 10 minutes. And loads it on the computer, pulls it up. And then I go and look at it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I see where I hit him. God, it's not good. But like the second, once again, just like every other one I saw, the second you hit him, you see a hole open up and you see blood squirting out of it, like immediately. And where I shot him was like either just above or just under the spine, barely. And the broadhead hit this way, not this way. Like, if it would have hit like that, I'd have severed the spine. Like, he'd have dropped in front of me. But regardless, he's running off. And at first, it's like, yeah, he's bleeding pretty decent. And then he hooks like this and then comes back like that. And there's a blind window that he's standing behind, so you can't really see it. And as soon as he curls back and starts going that way, And you zoom in on it. Every time he takes a step, you see blood spraying out of him. Like poof, poof, like lung blood would. I'm just like, well, dude, look at how much blood's coming out of him. How's that deer not dead? Like, that's too much blood. Like, it looked, and as soon as the guy goes by, they call him Bird, I zoomed in, like, well, look at this. And he looks at it, he goes, oh, that deer's dead. Like, he has to be. There's no way that he's bleeding that hard and not dying. So he was supposed to go back and look, because we didn't really even get really deep into it until, like, the last day. So he said he'd keep looking, and I only tagged one deer, so I still have another buck tag. And I could go back to Oklahoma up until I go to like January 15th or something like that. So I still have another buck tag and 3 more doe tags. So I could still go back there and hunt if I wanted. But I'm optimistic he'll still find it. I don't think he's gone back and looked at all yet because he was taking off time of his normal job to help us. So he probably hasn't had free time yet to go look. But I just don't see how that deer's not dead with what I saw coming out. Where I hit him, I would have thought, no, he'll be fine. Like I was of their boat too as we're following. I'm like, well, let's just be diligent and get to the field so we can all feel like, hey, that's that deer. We're good. He's fine. And walked to that, got that, and then saw the picture of him from an hour after we left. And there's blood from where I hit him all the way down on his side. I'm like, it looks like a lot of blood's on his side there, man. Like, I don't know. So
well, I think there's a main artery that does run along that.
There is.
Spine.
I was chat GPTing it while we're sitting in the blind. What if you hit here? How long is this deer going to live? That kind of thing.
Also, I was curious because like there's that new tracker app thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you guys looked into it or considered it, but I think that's a really cool like marketplace model. It basically the tracker app helps people find dogs to track their wounded animals.
So after we saw the footage that evening and pulled it up and saw, I saw blood coming out, but I wasn't looking at it nearly as thoroughly. I was like, hey, you had a buddy who had a drone.
Oh.
But it wasn't a very good drone. Like, it couldn't see the heat signatures in trees.
Oh, okay.
Like, if they're out in the field, you could see them.
Yeah.
And he came out for like an hour and flew over it and whatnot. And like, well, he's not dead laying out in the field. We know that.
Yeah.
And we didn't
so drones are a thing now too that help people recover animals.
Yeah, we didn't really see, and they're legal there. We even checked with Fish and Game, make sure what we're doing is legal and all that. But we didn't really see a deer that foot the bill either, because he was walking with a limp. And so when we fly over and see a live deer, and it would start walking, you're like, well, that one's not limping, that one's not limping, that one's not limping, that one's not limping. So I was like, we didn't identify that that's the deer and he's still alive.
Yeah.
At all. We left all our equipment at the house when we went back and met him, because it does say that you can't have a weapon with you when you're flying for a drone, so you're not tempted to go out and try to put an animal down that you find alive. But yeah, we also didn't find anything that 100% said, yep, that's the deer. So it's hard to say, man.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. But like I said, it didn't really see deer in the trees. Like, it was out in the open, you could see them. And I've seen the DJI one. It's I think it's like $8,000 or $9,000.
Yeah,
that'll find a heat signature in the trees.
Yeah,
for sure. Like, if it's in cover, it'll still show up.
I think they just used that on a hunting public video the other day. It looked like a DJI one. I'm not sure if it's the same one we're speaking about, but yeah, it was a big remote. It showed an orange heat signature in the trees. Yeah,
and I'm sure it's real controversial. Like, some people would say that's unethical or what have you. And I'm like, you shot the animal already. Right, the animal's already injured.
If it's just up to recovery,
should it be within all your power to recover your animal and not waste
totally.
it? I don't see where the hang up is. Now, the gray area that I get is you can say, okay, well, there he is and he's alive. He's still alive.
Right.
And that's where the gray area is. It's like, because then it's like, all right, well, would you have even found him to be able to sneak up on him and try to shoot him again without that? I don't know. It's hard to say. And in all fairness, like, we never went past that field to go look for him at that point.
Yeah, but if you got an arrow in him and it helped recover or put him down, I mean, I don't know. I guess that gets gray when you say he's still alive or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I do like the tracker app thing, though. I think that's a cool business model. And you and I talked about this like a year ago, but that was where I saw the first data that said, because they're getting all these interactions. So they're able to also provide data from people who go out into the field tracking stuff.
Yeah.
That was the first data I saw, that people were recovering more animals with mechanicals.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Oh, look at him just pulling right into the podcast. Just go ahead, dude. You're already here.
It's all good. Yeah.
No worries.
You're good.
I knew what you were doing. We're all good. So
all good.
We're probably wrapping here, aren't we?
Yeah, we have a bow coming in for Michael. What's this bow for?
This is for a bow build.
Why don't you? Is it? Can we have it on video?
Yeah, it's out. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Arc 34.
This isn't for our buddy Jolie, who's about to.
Well, he will probably be using that in his trying to determine. But long run, I'm probably going to build that bow and hunt with it.
Which, as Michael knows, is a very important bow buying test review. Do you know why?
Because he's the opposite of biased.
He's the opposite of biased, and it's the bow he'll be using at the ranch, very likely. So we got.
I think with all this smack talk, you may have awakened a sleeping giant. Not gonna lie, just beat the devil shit out of you.
Well, hey, I want it. You know, I want Michael at his best.
As you should.
Anyway,
thank you, Michael.
Yeah,
appreciate it, buddy.
Muchas gracias, senor.
Yeah, that track showed it left Wisconsin this morning.
Hey man,
I don't know. It's a miracle.
be a very fast boat.
Could be a very poor tracking updating. This was probably more likely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, anyway, yeah. I mean, what about anything we should add to your whitetail excursions before we close up here?
Oh, I've got like 4 more of them still.
I guess we'll have to bankroll those, huh?
Yeah, I want to see how many. This is gonna sound, I don't know how many deer I end up killing by the end of the year. Because so many places that I go hunting is like, you like Tennessee's like shoot 2 does a day for 4 months.
Yeah,
2 deer, 2 bucks, and then 2 does a day.
it's not a bad thing.
And I've still got a buck tag in Tennessee, and then unlimited does.
Yeah,
And I finally shot something somewhere where I get it processed and have meat down there.
yeah.
So I have probably 150 pounds of meat in the freezer down there now, which is cool.
That's a good thing.
Yes, because I would much rather eat things I've shot than buy them from the store. I don't like doing that. I want to kill it and eat it. I don't want somebody else to kill it. I'm not the dictator hiring the hitman to kill the guy. I'm the hitman.
Yeah,
I want to kill the guy.
I like knowing where my meat comes from as well. Mm-hmm. And I also like ribeye steaks. So I like both of those things.
I'd like ribeyes a lot more if they weren't so damn expensive.
Yeah. But yeah, we had a very interesting whitetail season to share. I think we're going to have some cool shit to share. I got to say, the whitetail thing has been sleeping on me because I didn't get to hunt last year because that was when I moved and got my place. Mm-hmm. And this year's just been so exciting to be out chasing whitetail. It really feels like getting back to my roots. And I'm like, whitetail, they hold a large portion of what I love to do hunting. So yeah, it's going to be cool.
Sweet, man.
Anyway.
Yeah, I've been having a ton of fun. I feel like I'm learning stuff because Western guys just typically don't hunt whitetail the same.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to
It's a chess
learn
match.
and evolve. And it is very much.
Chess match, yeah.
It's very much that way. It's
And
a lot
then
of fun.
for the guys managing their land too, that's a whole nother component. They get to manage their land and it's a whole different style of chess match as well, or a whole nother layer, I guess.
Yeah, one of the places that Towson's got for us, we actually get to manage it next year.
Land management is pretty
we actually get to
cool,
manage
yeah.
it, and it's once again it's in Tennessee where you can kill 2 does a day. And once rifle season opens, I'm willing to bet I'm going to go down there multiple times and shoot 2 does every day to try to lower the number of does in the area because it's guaranteed they're not getting hunted like they should.
Yeah,
and manage it and make healthier herds.
Yeah.
Put in a little bit of time, put in a little bit of effort.
I will say the areas that I've hunted where the buck to doe ratio is closer to 1-to-1, it is so different than where it's out of skew. Because I've been in both places. If your buck to doe ratios are out of skew, it's just a much different situation.
Yep.
Where that buck to doe ratio is closer to 1-to-1, bucks have to compete for breeding rights, it's just way more better. More better.
Yeah,
all right, guys. Well, that's the pod. What a fun caffeine-filled podcast. That's it.
3 cups of coffee in one of these.
Yep. We'll catch you
I
back.
can literally see my hand shaking.
Yeah. We got to get Joel a bow. We'll catch you back on the next one.
Adios.